Hello, and welcome to the Corona Cast comedy show. Here with me, Daliso Chaponda. If you are tuning in for the first time, this is a show where I, a comedian with no audience because of COVID, instead entertain you, the people of Twitch. I've realized you should not shave with the shirt you're streaming on just as you are about to start. Oh dear. Anyway, forget that. I don't even know if we call that technical errors, but either way, let's get started. This is a show where I tell random jokes, hopefully entertain you wherever you may be watching me from. If it is your first time tuning in, welcome. Just understand I am a man sitting alone, broadcasting from within his flat. So the more interactive you are, the more comments you make, the more LOLs you put out there. If you laugh, the more I give you what you want. Understand? Good. So we're doing it with a slightly different format today. So please, if you enjoy it, let me know. If there's any problems with the sound or anything like that, do let me know, because this is all a new setup. So without further ado, I am going to get started. Hello to Mo the Marshmallow. Hello to Harris Hussein. Hello to everybody. If I see mostly people from YouTube, if you are people on Facebook, Jacqueline just said hello on Facebook. So good to have you here. Harvard Derek, who asked for jokes about corruption in Uganda. I forgot to explain. This is jokes from audience suggestions, but it's not that you just give me suggestions and I make up the joke on the spot. During the course of the day, on Twitter, on Facebook, people have been giving me suggestions. I spent 3 or 4 hours writing jokes, and that's what today's show is going to be about, because sometimes you need to do research, particularly when it's foreign, political situation. For example, there's a joke today about Ethiopian politics, and if I tried to make up jokes about the Ugandan politics right now, they would be terrible, because I know a lot about Milton Obote, I know a lot about Idi Amin, I know almost nothing about Museveni. So the only reason I know a lot about Milton Obote and Idi Amin is I actually wrote a play about them several years ago. Okay, hello, everybody. Let's get started. Let's get rolling. Okay, so, I don't know what happened there. So, let me switch to the subjects. Okay, there's a little bit of growing pains because, as I said, this is the first time I am doing this. So first thing I've got to do is get rid of the show is starting soon, because the show has indeed started. Okay, so I'll do a joke, then I'll look at the comments, do a joke, take a look at the comments. So if you have any questions, I'll get to them in between the jokes. Okay, the subjects which are coming up, there are 6 different subjects. So let's start at the beginning. So the first suggestion was suggested by Kuriak HSS7, and they wanted me to do a joke about music nowadays. And I started thinking about what I associate with music when I was young, and it's all changed. I mean, some of the biggest differences is nowadays young people take it for granted that they can get their music for free, right? You can either go on YouTube and you can just watch like the music video for free, or you can download it for free, you can stream it for free. And so people just get their music for free. It used to be a struggle to get the top hits. I even remember there was a time when we started a little business at my school, because my father at the time was posted in Thailand. And when we went on holiday to Thailand, we could get cheap bootleg tapes of all the new hits. It was, Vanilla Ice and MC Hammer, and we'd get the bootleg tapes, and then we'd go back and we would sell the tapes, and it was like a hot commodity because nobody could get the new tracks, and you could actually just be cool at school just by virtue of the music which you had. And I also think it made you to choose more carefully, because you had to buy cassettes, or then when CDs came in, you had to buy CDs. It's an investment, right? You can probably buy 1 CD, maybe 2 CDs max. So when you would go to a record shop or a CD palace or wherever it was that you were shopping for your music, you would look very carefully and you'd be like, who will I like more of? Oh, I like Michael Jackson. I like Michael Jackson. I like Whitney Houston. I like Whitney Houston. Oh, I like one track from Ace of Base. I don't think it's worth buying the whole thing. And you'd have to figure it out, and you have to gamble. You'd make deals with your friends. You'll be like, okay, I'm going to get MC Hammer. Can you get New Edition? And you'd make all kinds of trades, and then you would share the music when you got it. It was all these complex things which people don't even do now. And then the other thing you would do is when you were listening to the radio, sometimes they would play songs you wanted. So you'd have a tape inside your cassette player, and you'd be sitting there with play and record. Because if if a song which you wanted came on, you'd have to hit play and record so that you could record the song, but you didn't want to hear the DJ's preamble. So they would sometimes be like, okay, next up is coming the new hit, ladies and gentlemen. We've got the new hit from Sisters with Voices starting, and you'd hit play and record, and then the fool keeps talking. Now, this is top the chart, so you press stop, rewind, okay? And then this is top the chart. They came in and surprised everybody. Nobody thought it would be this successful. This is one of our favorite songs. You press play and report, and then you keep talking, and then eventually you'd get it, and you try to get the play and record starting at the beginning of the song and ending at the end of the song, and then maybe you would get the whole song, and if the DJ happened to talk in the middle, it ruined the whole thing, which is why you would very slowly and painstakingly build up little cassettes full of music. And people don't understand, who grew up right now, why mixtapes were such a romantic thing. Of course, mixtapes were romantic because it took so much effort to create a damn mixtape. It took so much effort. So if you took songs which you had built gradually over the years and you had mixed them all together perfectly, it was a romantic thing. You could create a Spotify playlist in 10 minutes, right? It's nowhere near as valuable. So that was everything we used to go through. And right now, you are so lucky, young people. You're so lucky because it used to be like going shopping for food. You could buy one item of food. Now it's a buffet. You've got all of it. You've got all of it available. And I was thinking it was a good thing, but then in a weird way, I think maybe actually that might be why young people now enjoy. You hear a lot of older people talking about, the music nowadays is terrible. The music nowadays is terrible. Maybe it's not terrible. Maybe it's just we struggled so much to get our music that we appreciated it more because of the struggle, right? When it's easy, you don't enjoy it. You don't appreciate it as much. And similarly, it's a lot harder to make it as a musician now because people, well, maybe there's some positive, but it's harder to make money because people expect to download it for free. Okay, so that's what I've got to say about music nowadays. Kuriak HSS. I hope you enjoyed that. Let me get to the comments. Let's see how people are doing. Jacqueline Boylan, I see Jacqueline Boylan also once used to tape the top 40 off the radio. I definitely used to do that as well. Glad you are enjoying my comedy. Theo Hedge HXG, I'm glad you find me the best comedian ever. I would say my equivalent, my favorite comedian of all, probably a tie between Joan Rivers, Chris Rock, and Woody Allen. Those would be my best comedian ever, and I'm glad I am on your list. Excellent, excellent. Glad you are enjoying the show, outplayed in real life. Good to have you all here. Is anybody watching this in Twitch? I'm always curious when I'm trying out a new format if it is broadcasting anywhere. If you're one of the people who has both Facebook and YouTube and Twitch, do you mind just doing it and just popping over to Twitch, seeing that it's broadcasting clearly, and then coming back as I continue? Okay, super. Glad you enjoyed the double deck player. Oh no, Tricky Fun is actually talking about something even more amazing, because those of you who are young and have never seen a tape deck, okay, so to play our tapes, we had a machine which would stick the tapes in, right? Now, a lot of you, oh, what am I saying? Because of Guardians of the Galaxy, even those of you who have grown up without them have probably seen them in action, right? So we'd grow up with the mixtape, but then there were these new machines which came out, which had two tapes. So what you could do is you could stick in one tape and stick in another tape, and you could record from one tape to another tape, right? So if you had a friend you could record from one tape to another tape, but tapes came with a little tab at the top. And if the tab at the top was clear, you couldn't record, but there was a way around it. What you do, you'd ball up a little bit of paper, stick it in the gap, and then it could record. I'm sure all of you remember all these things. Oh no, sound is dodgy, says Jacqueline Boylan. Okay, sound is dodgy. Testing, testing. Testing, testing. Okay. Jacqueline Boylan, is the sound still dodgy? How is the sound, people? Do I need to switch? Do I need to switch? I'm waiting for people to tell me how the sound is before I do the next joke. I see nothing. Sellotape works too, yes. Sound is fine? Okay, whatever that little hiccup was, I'm glad it ended. Let me know. Anyone who knows about microphones, my microphone is currently on cardioid. Maybe it should be on Omni, maybe it should be on figure 8. So anybody knows, sound okay now, but pick really bad. Okay, it looks fine here. So I think it must be a problem in the broadcasting. I don't know what's going on. Alas, alack. I will keep going. This is my first attempt with StreamYard. If it has a lot of problems by the end of the stream, tomorrow I'll switch back to OBS. So just watch the whole thing, and at the end, you can tell me which one is better overall. Okay, let's move on to the next joke. Let's move on to the next joke, which was a suggestion by Janie Woodgate, who wanted me to talk about Abiy Ahmed Ali, who is the Prime Minister of Ethiopia. And the full message was like, you've got to talk about Abiy Ahmed Ali because people are being killed. It's a horrible situation. Tell me what your thoughts are. Something like that. Now, had to do some research about Abiy Ahmed Ali because I didn't know much about Prime Minister Ali. And he has had a very lauded time in power, right? So he won the Most Excellent Order of the Pearl of Africa, which we've got to admit, that is an amazing name for an award, right? I've received a few awards in my time, and it was something just like I received the Malawi Achievers Award, which is a lovely award, but I would have liked it if it was called the Most Excellent Pearl of Malawi Award. So on naming, that is a fabulous award he's received. Oh, oops, I need to get rid of the tricky fun comment. Okay. Oh no, sound okay. You see what's happened is I don't know how to use this technology. Oh no, what are we doing? What are we doing? Jacqueline Boylan, I don't know how to get rid of your comment. Don't tell me the rest of the show is just going to have Jacqueline Boylan's comment. Sound is okay. Oh no, I can't find it. So there it is. Okay. This is learning. Now the sound is echoing. Okay, people. I'm going to switch mics to second mic. And let's see if the second mic is better. Okay. I'm going to switch mics to the second mic. Okay. So we're switching mics to the mic in my webcam. Okay. Testing, testing. This is the second mic. This is testing number 2. And let's find out if this one is better. Okay. Let's keep going. I will tell you the thing about stream. Well, you know, it's not interesting. It's a different platform, different issues. Okay, let's keep going. Ladies and gentlemen, with the next subject is Abiy Ahmed Ali. Now, he received the Most Excellent Order of the Pearl of Africa. He also received the Humanitarian and Peacemaker Award, and he also received the Nobel Peace Prize. But what my issue with these things is, have people learned nothing? You don't give people awards like a prize for peace or a humanitarian achievement award while they're still in their career. You don't know what you don't know what they're gonna do in a week, right? Because on the one hand, he received all these things the last few years, but right now there's a lot of troubling allegations and speculations, right? There was a very popular revolutionary musician who was murdered, and a lot of people in Ethiopia suspect he might have been involved, right? And then he closed a TV station, said they were fanning tensions because they were reporting on what was going on. He's been accused by certain people of politically cleansing and of the Oromo people after violent unrest. And I can't really say because the investigations are not done, but a lot of people in Ethiopia are suspecting he's involved. Other people are saying he's not and coming to his defense. But he's got all these awards. Why did they give them all the awards before their time in politics is done? You don't know what they're going to... This has happened before. There was a woman in Burma, I've forgotten her name, you all can find her on YouTube, who got all these, was lauded for all her work in peace, and then later, when it came to ethnic divide, she was very one-sided. You got to wait till people are over, right? This is actually the political version of when people were enjoying Game of Thrones, loving Game of Thrones, inspired by Khaleesi, named their little children Daenerys. Loads of parents named their kid Daenerys in the middle of the show. By the end of the show, they're like, oh dear, what did we name our child after? You gotta wait till it's over before you can start giving away the award, you twits. Anyway, I hope Ethiopia, I hope you get through this, and hopefully the worst of the allegations are not true, but we know nothing. Okay. Let's keep going. Let's keep going. Actually, I look good on your phone. Oh, I'm so flattered. Thank you, Jacqueline. So it must have been your computer. Okay. Actually, yes, it was Suki, the lady from Burma. Exactly. Are you sure the other people gave him the awards, or was it his own people? No, actually, I looked through the list of all the awards he got, and I didn't actually mention the ones he got from his own people because there were a lot of them, but he got awards from other African countries, Nobel Peace Prize. So no, he's just been lauded by a lot of people because of his work, his efforts to resolve the border conflicts between Eritrea and Ethiopia, right? So those are amazing things he did, but his life is not over. His political term is not over. They made this mistake many a time. Robert Mugabe got all kinds of, he got honorary degrees and he was lauded as this person who changed so much of Africa, and he did. But that was the beginning. You gotta wait till the end, see what their whole life is. Okay, let's keep going. Thomas Kanu says it's still echoing. I switched microphone, so I don't know what I can do beyond that. I can move the microphone. I can move it a little closer to me, but that's about it. It could be just that my flat is very echoey. Yeah, no idea. Okay, let's keep going. Next subject, ladies and gentlemen, we move on to secrets during COVID, which was suggested by Kathiresh Palakad. Okay. Now, secrets are interesting, right? Because a lot of us have family secrets. Like, I've got family secrets. We've all got family secrets. But what I don't like is, it's always a shit secret, isn't it? It's always a shit secret. It's always that your one parent cheated on the other parent, or maybe some uncle stole money from the will which should have gone to a child. It's always a shit secret. Why don't we ever get the good secrets? Why don't we ever get the wonderful secrets? Why don't we ever get the secret that my grandfather hid treasure at the bottom of Lake Malawi and he left maps and clues to lead us, his true ancestors, to find that golden treasure? It's always the crappy secrets, right? But one interesting thing I've noted is that during COVID, a lot of secrets are coming out. A lot of truths are coming out. I don't know if it's because we just have a lot of time or just because we're stuck at home. A lot of things are coming out. For example, it is much harder to keep certain secrets, right? Like, number one thing which people lie about is sexual thoughts, affairs, things like that. It's very hard to carry on with your mistress while you're in lockdown with your wife. A lot of people are either having to dump the mistress or they're leaving too many breadcrumbs and getting caught, right? So that's one kind of secret is falling apart, right? But even people who are single, I actually think being in COVID has made people much more honest. People used to hide the porn they look at. People used to hide the fact they even look at porn. I've noticed just talking to friends, because people are so lonely and alone, they admit it. They're like, oh my God, I watched too much. I watched too much porn this week. I've even started admitting it. I was a person who was an occasional porn watcher who used to make fun of people who watch it all the time. And now I can no longer make fun of them because I will admit it. I have watched it way more than is healthy without the distraction of having lots of comedy shows. If I wasn't performing now, I'd probably be looking at porn. Tasteful porn with happy, consensual performers. Let's keep going. I think we're all becoming a little bit more honest. If you've had a crush on someone for a long time and you've been harboring it and never told them, I feel like during lockdown, a lot of people are just blurting it out. We're becoming more honest. I don't know is this a lie? Is this just me and my friends? Let me know if you too have found that you're becoming more honest during COVID. Okay, let's take a look at the comments before I keep going. Okay, sound is perfect. Good. Excellent. The first mic was okay. It was just a passing blip where I sounded like a robot. Okay, good to know. But does a second mic sound decent? Because I'm not going to switch back. I'm going to stay with this while it seems to be working. Tomorrow I might just stick with the really good mic. Okay, excellent. Hold on, I'm just checking something. Good. Is it still commenting? I see no commenters. I guess I'll keep going with the jokes. Okay. Next up, I hope it's still broadcasting. I don't usually question what's going on, but as anyone who's a daily user knows, essentially right now I'm test driving a new bit of software. Okay, let's keep going, ladies and gentlemen. Woohoo! Next subject. We are doing a joke about Black Lives Matter, right? It was suggested by the Sergeant 58. The Sergeant 58. Now, I'll tell you what's the interesting thing. I almost feel like I was catfished. Okay? Why do I say I feel like I was catfished? I feel like I was catfished because when the Black Lives Matter movements came back after the death of George Floyd, there was a lot of, it was all over the news, it was all over Twitter, and also because we're all in lockdown, it was spun and people made us, I don't know, I felt like this is a true watershed moment. This is one of those revolutionary moments where nothing is going to be ever the same again. I got so excited. I was talking about it. I was marching and I was like, this is it. This is it. And now a few weeks have gone by and I feel like life is back to normal. I know there are a few protests still going on, few people talking about it a bit, but I see no dramatic change. Yes, there's been a few things done which are like, remove television show with a black face, remove something of Twitter. But really, in terms of tangible change, a discussion of tangible legal precedents being set, I see nothing. And I feel I was catfished. It happens to me all the time. Political catfishing is when you convince yourself that this time it will be different. And I was actually talking to a female friend of mine who was staying here for a day or two, and she was saying the same thing happened with the first time the Me Too movement came around. People thought, this is it. It's changed for all time. We're in a better time now. We're in a better time. And then it was pretty much like just a few years and we're back to square one. I was catfished, people. I want actual change, not just talking about change. It's very frustrating. That's what I've got to say about Black Lives Matter today. And I hope I'm wrong. I hope there is change. Maybe it's just being discussed and people are arranging it. But I kind of feel like I was catfished by the moment. Christy Jones says maybe the panda is having lockdown phone sex. You are entirely right. That is a filthy panda right over there having lockdown phone sex. Let's keep going, ladies and gentlemen. Tricky Fun says, has anybody ever made a porn mixtape? This is a little bit too much information, but I will say yes. Yes, I have. Yes, I have. I have a program called Premiere Rush, and one of the first things I did is I found all the porn I had, and I got all the porn bits I liked, and I chopped them together, and I created a porn mixtape for myself. So yes, it has been done. That is too much information, but you asked. Let us keep going, ladies and gentlemen, with the next subject, which is very interesting. So somebody called Dorcas Brown said that I am tired of women breaking out with the flip-flops and the sandals as soon as I see summer comes and you can clearly see scales and ash on their feet. Now, I hate to say it, you sound like you got a problem, sir. You sound, or ma'am, I don't know, is Dorcas a male or female, but it sounds like you are very obsessed with other people's feet. I mean, their feet do not exist for your pleasure. But I was thinking I was going to make fun of you for being obsessed with other people's feet. But then I started looking into it, and now I'm actually a little bit worried because there's an actual condition which you might have. There's a condition called podophobia. Podophobia, which is a fear of ugly feet. And a lot of people have this apparently. P. Diddy, Puff Daddy, right? He has got podophobia. There are people who have a fear of feet. And in any case where you've got a phobia, the way to treat it is you need to gradually expose yourself to it. Gradually. So what I suggest for you, what the doctor orders, is start desensitizing yourself. So for this week, I would like to assign you the homework of look at 45 toes this week. Okay? So just Google toe, take a look at the toe. If you want to run in fear, just hold yourself there, stare at the toe. Just stare at the toe and say, this toe does not control me. I am not afraid of the toe. I can fight the toe. I can fight the toe. Then what you need to do is week after move on to the toenail. So now start looking at the toenail. Say, I am not afraid. I am not afraid of the toenail. I can fight the toenail. And then what you then do is you start move on to the bridge of the foot. The bridge of the foot. So that I'm looking at the bridge. I'm not scared of the bridge. And then the sole. I am not afraid of the sole. I'm not afraid of the sole. And by the end of COVID, we can have you conquered your fear of ugly feet. So start this week's assignment, Dorcas Brown, toes. Okay? That is my helpful advice to you. Let us keep going. Jurishi says, leave the panda alone. Let's keep going, ladies and gentlemen. Let's keep going. Thank you so much. Also, I forgot to mention, because I'm a bad businessman, if you enjoy my show, you will see there is a place where you can tip me, which is listed below. It's ko-fi.com/Daliso Chaponda. No amount is too small. You can tip me $1, £1, one Zimbabwe dollar. I don't care. No amount is too small. No amount is too big. If you're rich, feel free to tip me a lot, or you can become a Patreon. The details of becoming a patron are in the description. So consider that as well, because all of this is performance for free. Okay, let's keep going. Next subject. Okay. Second last subject is depression. Now, depression was suggested by Shira Jr. Kisius Gomez, right? Now, I'll tell you what the thing is about depression. It's a very hard time for depression, right? Because I'll admit I struggle with depression on occasion, not a lot. I mean, I do. There are people, I can't really whine about it because I have friends who really, really, really suffer from crippling depression. But, you know, I suffer from depression from time to time. And the thing about depression is it's different from sadness, right? Sadness is normal part of being a human being. When bad and tough things happen, you feel sad. you feel down. In fact, it's essential to feel sad to keep going. Depression is often when you feel sad and brought down and disheartened, and but for no reason. This is the thing, for no reason. It's chemical. It's something about you for no reason. So you could have just won the lottery and you still want to throw yourself from the balcony, right? So you have thoughts of suicide, you're feeling down, and the thing is, you don't know why. What's making it very hard for people to deal with depression during COVID is you don't know if you're depressed or if you're just sad because of COVID. Because all of these, life is horrible. And so now I feel like every day I have to play some kind of chess game with myself and try to figure out if I'm feeling down because of COVID or if I'm depressed. Because if you're depressed, you need to get control of it before it gets really down and you do something regrettable to yourself, right? But if it's sadness, it will pass naturally. But I don't know, because what are the symptoms of depression? Loneliness. Well, COVID in a flat alone, bloody lonely. Okay, what else? Okay, lack of motivation. Oh my Lord, I feel a lack of motivation every day. I should have finished writing my novel by now, right? Trust me, based on the pace of my writing, when I'm writing and I'm motivated, I should have finished my novel 2.5 weeks ago. It's still going slowly, being squeezed out of me like toothpaste out of a toothpaste tube, right? Lack of motivation. Thankfully, suicidal thoughts, only one or two. You don't need to worry about me. More in a sort of like, hey, if one was to do it, that's how one would do it, not in terms of something that I've ever considered. Don't worry about me. Thank you for the concern. But I'm just saying, a lot of people are having all of these thoughts. A lot of people are having all of these thoughts, having depression, and you don't know whether it's because of COVID or because you're just depressed. Oh, so frustrating. I don't know if that's a joke, but it's just something which I thought is funny, in that I actually saw statistics. Less people have been reporting themselves as depressed and having difficulty coping in certain parts of the UK. And I'm like, it's because they probably don't know if they're depressed or just sad because of COVID. Robert Stevens says, how can a life be black? It should be black people's matter. Black people matter. You wouldn't say Jewish lives matter. Plus, I don't have a life. I'm in a lockdown. Robert Stevens, you are very pedantic linguist. So black people can matter and black lives can matter. I will tell you one funny thing, which you do put into my mind, Robert Stevens, which I find very funny, is that there are some people who, not you, but there are some people who are very full of conspiracy theories about Black Lives Matter. You know, they're like, Black Lives Matter is a Marxist group. It's a Marxist cabal who is trying to control us. It is a Marxist cabal who's trying to bring down Western civilization, and talking about it like it's a group, an evil group. Now, there's a group who calls themselves Black Lives Matter, but Black Lives Matter is actually, it's a phrase, right? It's a phrase, a slogan, sort of like seize the day, right? Or look before you leap. It's, most people saying it are just saying it as a phrase. By saying the phrase, you don't join some kind of Marxist group who's trying to bring down society by being against fascism. Anyway, I do find it funny when I read these conspiracy theories who says like, look at Black Lives Matter. That group is trying to destroy us. Okay, let's keep going. Final subject for the day. Let me look at the comments one more time. One more time. Thank you so much, everybody who came and checked out the show today. Very good to have you here. Very good to have you all here. Do not worry, Robert Stevens. It is all good. I am a big believer, especially in a case like this, that you say everything. You say everything, funny, not funny. We say it all, and people figure it out. So Do not worry if the comment did not make us laugh. I thought it was amusing, hence why I highlighted it. And thank you for being in my audience today. Final subject of the day, and a final thank you to everybody who has tuned in. Also, those of you who have been watching me over the days, who've seen me both on OBS and this first day when I'm doing on StreamYard, please in the comments tell me, did it sound better than usual? Did it look better than usual? Anything like that helps, because it helps me decide whether to keep on this or to switch back to my old broadcaster. Final joke of the day is a link which was shared to me by Jacqueline Boylan, who is in the chat, which is a message which was sent to like an agony aunt on Slate, which is an online sort of agony aunt where people explain their problems. And a woman said that her black son sold N-word passes to his white friends. So he sold little pieces of paper, like certificates, which say you are allowed to say nigger, right? And he sold them to white people, and he's made around $1,000, and she's very troubled by this. And I read the agony aunt talking to this person about how to talk their child out of this and reason that their child, what are you doing? This child is a genius. This child is brilliant. He's made $1,000. What kind of innovation is this? You are bringing up the next Oprah, okay? You are bringing back an innovator. You are bringing back the next Elon Musk. I don't know why you're trying to dissuade them. They have turned racism into money. And also, not only that, I think this black son might have solved how we can all benefit from racism. Not just racism, from all prejudice. We need to monetize it, right? I think we need to monetize all prejudice, be it racism, be it sexism, be it transphobia. If you hate people who are short, if you hate anything you hate, we can turn it into a financial thing. This is my idea. This is my idea. Is this kid started with N-word passes. We need to create passes for all of the racial insults, right? We need to create, like, if you want to insult Jewish people, you can get this certificate. If you want to say something bad about lesbians, you can get this certificate. We get all of these things. We have all of the passes for all of the horrible things people want to say. And then next thing, horrible actions, right? Let's say you want to, I don't know, you want to objectify a woman. We create a certificate for that, right? If you want to wolf whistle at a woman, we create a certificate of that. If you want to dress up in blackface, we get a certificate for that. If you want to do something offensive towards Islam, we created a certificate for that. If you want to insult Christians, we create a certificate. We get all these certificates and we create financial incentives, right? So that way, all the money raised by people. So let's say somebody wants to swear at me, wants to call me the N-word, right? He pays his money, he gets the N-word pass, and he can say it to me, right? And feel good yelling at me, saying at it. And the money which he has paid for the certificate goes to a charity which helps black people. See what I'm saying? Right? Let's say you want to insult someone gay. You use some horrible term toward gay people, and the police will say, do you have your certificate? You don't have your certificate. Then they say, then pay the fine. You pay the fine. They give the money to some group, some charity, which helps people who are LGBT. Do you see? Do you see, people? We can make the hate. We can turn the hate into something positive by monetizing it. Damn, I think this is brilliant. And more than that, it's going to create a situation where if somebody swears at you, they're going to have to really, really mean it, because they're going to have to balance their budget against how much they hate you. I think this is the future. Thank you so much, Jacqueline Boylan. I think this is a game-changing proposition. Let's see. Tricky Fun says, are we watching all the comments now from all platforms? You're watching from YouTube. Yes, you are seeing comments from all platforms. Hello, Marlene8, who is on Twitch. Hello, everybody. Glad you are enjoying it. Ranbir Soother,
Hello, everybody, everybody. Mark Carson, you're right. You wish your son was smart to think of something like that. I agree. He made $1,000, and this silly mother wants to dissuade him. Let him keep doing it. Let him keep doing it because he's making money out of hate. The last joke is a winner. I think you're right, Jurishi. It is my favorite of the day, which is why I put it at the end. Yes, with my gigs don't get back on track, I think that will be my backup business. I am going to sell. I'm going to sell them. And Christy Jones, you respect the hustle. Indeed, the kid is brilliant. So that has been the Corona Cast Comedy Show for the night. I will be back tomorrow. Wait, let me just make sure. There are a few days this week where I have other things going on. Yes, I will be back tomorrow. Also, those of you who watch my gaming podcast, not gaming casts, as soon as this is over, in around 18 minutes, so at the next hour, I'm going to be on twitch.tv/Daliso Chaponda. I will be playing a video game, doing a little bit of chat. If you have any questions, it's just I chill, play some tunes, and play some video games, and I'll be doing that for around an hour or two. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful night. Night. This is Daliso.